This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 664. Why getting jacked, strong, and lean is never enough. How to manage your fitness expectations, part 2, by Deen of JCDFitness.com. And I'm Dr. Neil, your very own personal narrator. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Optimal Health Daily. This is one of 5 podcasts we read to you from blogs for free so that you don't have to read them yourself, except on Fridays. That's where I usually answer your questions. Now, today's post is a continuation from yesterday. So if you're new here or skipping around, definitely check out yesterday's episode first. That's episode 663. Now, speaking of yesterday, I totally spaced and forgot to give you an inspirational quote. It's the middle of the week, and I usually like to provide you with some inspiration to help you get through the rest of the week. And so I apologize for the delay, but here we go. Quote, "Reach for the sun, and should you miss, you will still end up amongst the stars." Author unknown. And with that, let's get right to part 2 as we optimize your life. Why getting jacked, strong, and lean is never enough. How to manage your fitness expectations, part 2, by Deen of JCDFitness.com. We have to fix our heads. This is not a problem with the heart or with our desire to get things done. If you've ever experienced a physique transformation, you know how awesome it is to look back at your records and see the positive results. It feels so good to set a goal and reach it. You have heart, you have determination. So what's missing? Part of it's not having other goals outside of fitness, and it's also due to poorly managing your expectations when it comes to building your physique and nutrition in general. Managing your expectations, physique, and performance goals. I've written about this before, but we all have genetic limits. In LGN 365, I discuss the importance of realizing your potential, getting your mind right, and getting clear on what it is you want. Then once you know your goals, you have to set up a plan. We can talk about that at another time, but for now, I want you to think about your personal expectations. Are you expecting to be the next IFBB pro? Do you want to compete in figure shows? Or do you just want to be strong and athletic looking? Regardless of the goal, you need to first learn acceptance of yourself. Understand that you are unique in the sense of having your own genetic makeup. Your muscle bellies are short, or maybe they're long or somewhere in between. If your bone structure is rather large, like thick joints and having big hands, then you're on the favorable side of the genetic spectrum. If this is not you, there's no reason to give up or give in, but simply be mindful of what's possible for you. You may not be the next Mr. Olympia, but you can still amass a respectable physique. It just may take more time and work than for the genetically blessed. They say we grossly overestimate what we can accomplish in a year and severely underestimate what we can in 5 years. I heartily agree. I'm known to bite off more than I can chew. I'm working on this. Make this a race against yourself and see how far you can take it. I can't give you any hard numbers on how much talent or genetics will affect your results, but I know that working smart and being diligent will take you farther than any amount of talent can for those who rely on that alone. In short, set a goal, but don't put a hard date on it. Have an idea of what you want to accomplish and enjoy the daily grind of loading the bar and getting stronger. Enjoy the good food you'll eat and time you spend with others who are like-minded. Oh yeah, if you don't have a support group, find one. It can take you far. The downtimes. Embrace them as they will come. There will be times when you're sad or discouraged. I've had many setbacks in my many years under the bar. I've had various minor shoulder injuries where I've had to completely abstain from pressing. You can imagine how this may have shattered my expectations of hitting a certain number on the bench press or continuing my boulder shoulder construction. But you know what? You get through it. It's called a setback for a reason, and I can promise you they will come. Lift weights long enough and you will eventually experience some type of injury. It's just part of the deal. However, the benefit of being strong, muscular, and functional greatly outweighs being puny, feeble, and weak, does it not? Set goals, but accept there will be bumps in the road. Nothing worth having ever comes easy. Having goals outside of fitness. A long time ago, I was taught that if you ever want to attract people or opportunities into your life, you must focus on 2 things. 1, becoming a better person from the inside out, through personal development, reading books, continued education, and generally becoming a more interesting individual. And 2, learning to pursue something much bigger than myself. I'll give you a personal example. I've always had an interest in becoming a better me. I know that my contribution to the world starts with what I'm filling my head and heart with. If I'm not aiming to improve my own life, how can I ever improve or help someone else? How can I ever teach a lesson or guide someone through his or her physique transformation if I've never taken the time to grow? So as you might imagine, I highly value the ability to learn on a daily basis, whether it be through daily reading, listening to podcasts, editing my writing, spending time with mentors, or even meditation, something I've been practicing since July 2012. The other important lesson I've learned is to pursue something much greater than myself. And that something is what I'm currently doing with my life, my fitness writing, coaching, training, etc. For the longest time, I was unfulfilled. I was lean, strong, and worked 3 jobs. I was in and out of college and felt lost, as some might say. This is when I first learned that being lean or having an amazing body wasn't the answer to all of my frustrations. When you're choosing not to go out for drinks with friends so you can stay in to hit your calorie goals, you've got your priorities mixed up. Because of the importance I placed on my fitness and nutrition, I became disappointed when my efforts didn't meet my expectations. I could never be happy. Here's another example. Most recently, I was quoted in the November 2012 issue of Men's Health. Now, I have to say, I'm extremely pumped because this is a big deal for me, as this is my first appearance in a major fitness publication. That's my name there. I remember going into the store and picking up a copy on the shelf. I danced a little bit in the aisle as I read my quote and saw the training program I designed in Men's Health of all places. My mother was ecstatic as I met her for breakfast the next morning. But guess what? The accomplishment didn't deliver what I thought it would. It didn't make me feel any different. It was just something I wanted to achieve, worked for, and it happened. I made the friends and wrote the content. All in all, I'm incredibly grateful to have the opportunity to contribute to major magazines, but I understand that it's just a part of what I do now. It doesn't define me or make me feel a certain way. Learning to manage your expectations. This is not easy, but I encourage you to think about this. For if you do, it may just change your perspective on many things in life. Please understand that fitness is merely a part of your life. You're going to live a long time, hopefully, and you have so much time to realize your potential. I'm not saying you should be lazy, and I'm surely not suggesting you take any shortcuts. What I am saying is to understand that for the majority of us who are not professional models, actors, or constantly in the spotlight, there is no real reward for having a super lean or jacked physique. There's no pressure except the pressure we put on ourselves. So ask yourself the question, will attaining this physique-related goal make me happy or give me pleasure or insert whatever here? If you answer yes, then I'm happy for you. Congratulations. But if you're like the rest of us and answer no, where else can you place your focus that will bring you more fulfillment as you crush your fitness goals on the side? You just listened to part 2 of the post titled, Why Getting Jacked, Strong, and Lean is Never Enough. How to Manage Your Fitness Expectations by Deen of JCDFitness.com. Dr. Neal again here for my commentary. There's a researcher at Harvard that I've discussed on this show before. His name's Dr. Sean Achor. You can find one of his presentations on YouTube. He presented at a TEDx talk in Bloomington on the subject of happiness. Now, spoiler alert, one of the things he mentions is that often when our happiness is tied to our accomplishments, once we have met that goal or achieved that accomplishment, what we find is we don't really take the time to congratulate ourselves and just be in the moment. Instead, we set a new accomplishment so that we're never really happy because we're always chasing the next accomplishment. We're always searching for that better job or better salary or higher degree. We never just take the time to appreciate and be grateful that we did in fact achieve this goal. And again, just as JC mentioned, we're not saying don't ever set goals or don't ever have any accomplishments, but rather don't let that be the only thing that makes you happy. Setting goals and reaching them, even small, tiny goals, is super important for our overall level of happiness. There's something that happens with what's called self-efficacy, refers to our feeling that we can accomplish a certain task. That tends to go up even with small wins, which then makes us more likely to pursue other goals. So again, the point is not to ever set goals, but rather when you meet them, take a moment and feel some gratitude. Then once you've truly given yourself that pat on the back, can you set a new goal? Now, really quickly before I go, we're doing a book giveaway tonight at midnight. So if you want to be in the raffle, make sure you're on our email newsletter mailing list at oldpodcast.com. That will also get you some free tools to help you optimize your life. Again, that's all at oldpodcast.com. Join today to be in the raffle happening at midnight. All right, that wraps up today's episode. Thank you for listening as always. Thank you for being a subscriber. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow in February for another Q&A episode where optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this show and Optimal Living Daily, the brother podcast of this one. Literally, I'm Dr. Neil's brother. If you like the format of this show, you'll love Optimal Living Daily too, where I also read to you from blogs, but cover other topics like personal development, finance, and minimalism from bloggers like Derek Sivers, The Minimalists, Zen Habits, and many more. So for more amazing content read to you for free, come subscribe to Optimal Living Daily too, and together we'll optimize your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Health Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com. That's oldpodcast.com for a free gift, as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.